oh, so embarrassed. He's in his 40s and he e-bags. You're squatting on camera for money, you dumb you the fuck are you talking about?
You can't tell me because your detractors will use it against you.
That's not what I said at all.
Well,
I said,
tell me again.
You gotta calm down. Listen. I get it. I do. You're excited. You think you got me on something. It's all good. And I'm actually
I got you, Phil. I got you.
Actually,
I haven't even started on these bank leaks. There's a mountain of evidence that it's you.
So here I am for the last 2 days just trying to do my normal streams, and you got these drama queen sissy girls, because that's all they are. They act like sissy girl schoolyard gossipers, right? Did you see what ICS is doing? You see what he's doing over there? What he said is good, and he's throwing money at the E-Dot, and she's twerking and doing squats, and he shows her more money, and then he says something nasty about Darkside Phil to get a rise, and they say, the truth is, I don't give two fucks about.
But you do. You've just dedicated a whole segment to it.
Any of it. All right? In truth, and this has always been my philosophy, and people give me shit for having this philosophy. My philosophy is thus. I'm a content creator, and my limits of what I care about or what I should be responsible for is literally what's in front of me right now. I'm looking at 2 chat rooms on my streams. That's it. What you do outside of my chat should be absolutely none of my business whatsoever. Do you understand? Now, the thing is, I've been taken to task for this. I've been told, well, that's not true, because what if you know that someone who's a viewer of yours is a mass murderer? What if you know that they're a sexual predator? What if you know that they're a drug dealer? What if you know that they're a pedophile? What if you know that they're this or that? Or that? Well, first of all, how would I know that?
How did he segue into this? Going from like the stuff you're saying is coming back to me while I'm just trying to do my thing now to, well, my viewers are murderers and weirdos and shit like that. How is this tied into what you've just said? Maybe I'm stopping it prematurely, but
I'm literally a streamer. I stream every day and I do a podcast and I play games. How would I ever know at all what the people are doing when they're not on my streams? And why did it become my responsibility at some point to stalk every viewer that I have to know that shit? I really don't get it. I still don't. To this day, I don't understand it. Okay, I don't get it. And so, let's be honest, the elephant in the room, the DERICH thing, where for years, DERICH was on my streams and he was a nice guy. He was always adding to the conversation. He chimed in on certain topics where he got excited. He was a frequent viewer. He never supported.
Phil thought DERICH was a nice guy because DERICH spammed Phil's chat with the same things over and over until Phil would finally see it and read it. And then other people in Phil's chat would get mad and be like, this guy's just spamming the chat with the same thing. But anybody else would get banned. And then Phil would ban that guy for complaining, but keep DERICH in his chat. DERICH never acknowledged. DERICH was not a community member where he would acknowledge anyone outside of like 2 or 3 regulars on DSP's stream anyway. He was not somebody that would go out of his way to engage with new viewers or actually like keep your community open and welcome. But like, nobody's asking you to stalk your viewers. I hate that he's used that word like 10 times already. When somebody confronts you with something, you should take action about it. Not being like, well, he doesn't act that way in my chat. He doesn't act that way around me, so I'm not going to do anything. He's fine in my chat. If you have a problem with it, you can go. Like, that's DSP's mentality. It's like, no, this guy allegedly does weird things. People have dug it up. You've been confronted multiple times. You've been confronted by Kino Casino. You've been confronted by Brian. I'm pretty sure that's why Brian, top tier rated, doesn't do content with DSP anymore, because he asked him about it. And DSP is always defending DERICH. DSP has always defended DERICH. The only reason that DSP got rid of DERICH was because Kino Casino confronted him. They essentially forced him to ban DERICH. It was essentially Kino Casino was like, listen, Phil, it's either us or them. Like, that's kind of the way that they put it. They're like, you can't be associated with somebody like this when people have dug up so much info. And Phil defended him and defended him and defended him until he finally was coerced into banning him.
He literally never dropped $1 on my streams. Never.
What does that have to do with anything? That's the problem, is Phil's view is so jaded. His moral compass is so broken that he's associating DERICH with being a good person, even though DERICH never gave him money. Like, DSP is associating people that give him money are good people. I'm just putting it out there.
But he was just a nice guy in chat, all right? But people stalked him in his other accounts. They went to his social media. They went to his YouTube page, and they said, did you see that he's a sex pest, that he goes after people in the sex worker industry, and he
Yes, but that's not stalking somebody when your info's public and you're constantly posting on these people's pages. Hey, so-and-so really liked that video you did. By the way, my birthday is next month. Like, dude, the dude is a weirdo posting this stuff publicly. It's not
Harasses them, and he had to
stalking.
massively apologize publicly for stalking them and saying creepy stuff. Did you see he has playlists on his YouTube channel of small girls and shit? I'm like, no, I didn't see that. You want to know why? Because I don't stalk my viewers. I don't want to. I don't care to. It's not my job to. That is ridiculous, in my opinion, that you would go.
The problem is when you're confronted with this and it's easily public so you can go and look it up for yourself and you refuse to do anything about it for somebody who DSP says is like was a big part of his community, was always in chat and saying things, but you refuse to do anything. You're defending it, and you're putting other people in your chat at risk who are susceptible to creeps like Derek getting into their DMs and finding information about them and potentially stalking your viewers, right? So that's more dangerous than somebody stalking Derek whose shit is public and he's posting it somewhere.
The extra mile to look into someone. I'm one person. Can you imagine if I was responsible to literally look into every person who watches my content? When would I make content?
Nobody's saying that.
That's always been my philosophy. But hey, people have taken me to task for it and told me I'm wrong. That's the wrong philosophy to have. That if you're actively told that someone is doing something bad, that you've got to look into it and you're responsible for it, well, guess what? Fuck that.
You're a piece of shit. I'm just going to say you're a fucking piece of shit because you're going to protect this one weirdo gooner in your chat, allegedly, versus the other people who are in your chat that are there to have a good time because this person, his weirdo gooner tactics doing this in the Twitter sphere, whoever it is, whatever it is, can eventually make its way into your chat. And who's responsible? You are. It's your stream. You have to keep a safe community. You are the one who has the ability to get rid of these people. The best somebody can do is hide someone in a YouTube chat or something like that. So the fact that your moral compass is so goddamn... I don't know what I was saying. My dog started barking. But the fact that your moral compass is so broken, dude. Like, I think you need therapy. You need something because you're not right mentally. You need to go do something, Phil. You need to get off the alcohol. You need to go see a therapist, and you need to figure out how to actually be a better person because you have a community of people that watch the content and follow the things that you do, and you're still here defending people that should not be defended.
Okay, I'm going to lay down the law right now. That's fucking unfair. I don't care what Ptolomeo says. I don't care what Kino Casino says. It's unfair. You can't expect a creator to fucking investigate and stalk their viewers, period. I disagree with it, all right? Now, if somehow...
Why does Phil disagree with it? Well, because it's work. Because you have to go out of your way to research this stuff to make sure that you have a safe community. Most streamers don't have to deal with this because they don't have a community like Phil. Phil's got a very interesting and small community of people where it's the same regulars. It's not a chat that's flying by, so you can read what these people are saying. They interact with each other. Who is the host of that interaction? That's Phil. It's Phil's chat. It's Phil's community. So, of course, you're responsible to a degree. You can't be responsible for that person's actions, but you can be responsible for taking care of that and getting rid of these people who are doing bad things in your chat or outside of your chat to protect actual loyal viewers in your chat.
Other people do the work and figure it out and come to me with evidence and say, no, there is concrete evidence of what's being said here and you should take action. Then maybe I will. But I'm not going to go after people like that. Do you understand? And so in this case here, we've got Iron Chef Sakai, who apparently is going off and doing things the last 24, 48 hours. Okay. I don't know if it's true or not because I wasn't there. I didn't look at chat logs. I didn't watch stream archives. I also don't care to. I don't care about a fuck.
If Iron Chef Sakai did, send detractor links and say all this bad stuff about Phil, let's say I was Phil, I'd ban his ass. Fuck you, dude. You talking shit about me, get fucked, But given that Phil relies on his money, Phil is too lazy to actually go and do work, although we know Phil was probably sitting there watching the entire thing after the fact because Phil is always like, oh, I haven't looked into this, I haven't done it, but I do know A, B, C, D, E, and F happened.
Ethot on Kick, who's fucking doing squats for money. Okay, I don't.
An e-thought on Kick who's doing squats for money. Well, then we have an e-beggar on YouTube who eats fast food for money and builds Legos. You're going to ask me which one I choose. I'm choosing the e-thought all day. At least she's got something going on here. This is more entertaining than Grug builds Legos,
I don't give a shit. I don't care if she talks shit about me, because apparently I'm being told she did. That people made fun of me. Say, oh, did you know that there's an e-beggar named Darkside? Oh, so embarrassed. He's in his 40s and he e-begs. You're fucking squatting on camera for money, you dumb shit. You fucking slut. The fuck are you talking about? You're the one who's doing the embarrassing acts. I'm literally sitting here putting out content. You understand? You're squatting on camera for money.
All your content is geared towards you doing things that are equally as bad and more embarrassing. You're eating fast food. You're stuffing your fat gullet with burgers while she's doing squats and stuff on Kick. It's funny. He probably called her a slut because she has a girlfriend. So now Phil's like, oh, damn, why'd I send my audience over there? I'll never get in her DMs. But it's funny because she's the polar opposite. She's getting donations and doing squats on camera where she's actually, getting healthier and working out and getting in shape, which are good things. And you also do the same at home. Do squats for money, especially. But Phil stuffs his face with fast food for money. So it's like, here's Mr. Unhealthy who stuffs his face with fast food and drinks for $100 tips. And then here's this person who's doing healthy cooking streams and squats. Yeah, she's doing the same. She's you, Phil, but everything is better. Her content's better. I'm sorry. I mean, I haven't watched her, but just the sound of it.
But anyway, I'm supposed to be the villain in this situation, right?
And you are. And you are, because you're an evil, facetious man who just called somebody a slut that you don't even know, because all the stuff that she's hearing about you from detractors, she's looking into and seeing all these clips of you, of things that you did.
But anyway, so in regards to all of this, I don't give a shit about any of it. I really, really don't. All right? So you could go do whatever you want, but understand, when you're doing what you want to do, people are going to stalk you. People are going to regurgitate that. They're going to spin it. They're going to say negative shit. Do you understand? They all.
So he just spun all that back into the first point that he was making. Somehow none of that other stuff made any sense. Why did you even bring Derek up, and how does that go into this? Because Derek did stuff in public and people found out about it.
And there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not going to take any action today because I don't think it's my job to do that. All right? But to be honest, at the same time, it is fucking annoying as shit. And I don't want to sit here having to try to manage my chat with a bunch of people acting like fucking, like I said, sissy gossip girls. It pisses me off. I got better things to fucking do than wait.
I'm sorry, Phil. I'm just going to apologize to Phil. It does suck that you get sissy, whiny girls in her chat. But my piece of advice for Phil would be, stop being a whiny, sissy bitch, dude. Man up. Man the fuck up. That's all I had.
Waste my time on all this bullshit. Okay, I really do. So at some point, I got to lay down the law, right? So I'm just being honest here. Please.
By the way, y'all like my Disney cup? I got it at Disney over the summer. I'm a first timer, I went to Disney for the first time in my 30s. Okay, nobody cares about that.
Be conscious of what you're doing, especially if you're someone who has the eye of my detractors and other people stalking you constantly. You've got to be conscious that what you're doing is going to be analyzed, and you're going to freaking be putting this shit all over the internet. All right? And people are going to be talking about it. Okay? So that's that. Now, at the same time, do you understand?
Wait,
I hope everyone.
I might be fucked up here. What did that person just say in his Kick chat? Sister Anime. I happened to see this as he was talking. Another day where you're not playing a game I recommended donated to see. I guess you're going to pretend like I'm not in this community and just sent you money, huh? What do I have to do to get you to play Fast Food Simulator? Come on. My advice, Sister Anime, is go find a new streamer to send your money at. They'll probably play it for you.
All right? And people are going to be talking about it. Okay? So that's that. Now, at the same time, do you understand? I hope everyone understands why I would be apprehensive of giving moderator status back to someone like Iron Chef Sakai. You get it? Because the entire internet's eyes are on this fucking guy now. So everything he does is going to be microanalyzed. Now imagine if I made him a moderator again and how that would blow up and how that would basically backfire. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because you have nobody in your community you're loyal to, or that's loyal to you because of it. They get kicked out of your community, or you treat them like shit, or you do something, you say something dumb around them and you lose all these people who are potentially moderators for you. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you have hardly any moderators.
Yeah, I'm just, at this point, that's why. And I think everyone understands that too. Like, I don't think anyone is going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't get that. No, I think everyone gets it, but I want people to.
By the way, I totally just realized this whole thing has been off-centered this whole time. My bad. Is what it is. Still get the point across.
Also understand it's not like I'm trying to be a jerk. I understand Iron Chef Sakai is a huge supporter of my content, and I appreciate that. But you got to get that this is the problem. That was what happens when those things get to.
No, the problem is you're giving him a pass because he gives you a lot of money and you need his money. That's where we're at. Yeah, I can't believe he called her a slut. Honestly, though, she's kind of embraced the memes and stuff, and Phil doesn't like it. And Phil's gonna go on the offense, so Lexi, you may want to just be careful around this guy. He'll say some shit about you, but don't worry. He has no merit. Everything he says doesn't matter. Keep doing your thing. Because this is a great arc. For us, the people who are watching, the quote-unquote detractors, it's very entertaining. I don't know. This video is probably pretty long as it is. I'm going to leave it there. Appreciate y'all subscribing, liking, commenting. Try to get me to 1,000 subs, and I'll build some Legos. No, I probably won't, but I'll do something. I want to do something for y'all at 1,000, so leave me some comments. We'll pull a DSP and let the community decide, and then I'll ultimately make the final decision like everybody made it, but it was actually just me, and I'll say we made the decision. I don't know. Peace, y'all. Hey, yo, DSP just said, what? We got an interesting one for y'all today. You're going to want to stay tuned to this. DSP went off about this. What are we calling it? I'm going to call it the Lexi arc. The past couple days, he's been ignoring it, sort of. He's been bringing it up, but subtly. Today, he called her the S word, the 4-letter word. Said a lot of nasty things. Brought up DERICH, defended DERICH. It's a nasty one, so let's get into it.
Elephant in the room. Iron Chef Sakai is back in Kick Chat today. After 2 days of me having to put up with bullshit, with everyone yelling and telling me that he had left and that he went to someone else's stream and he was throwing some a whole bunch of money. So, Iron Chef Sakai, why don't you tell us all about your adventures in the last 24, 48 hours? Really. Because I had to put up with so much bullshit in the last 24 to 48 hours because of this. I'd like to hear exactly what's going on. He says, are you serious? Well, let's see. You apparently went over to someone else's stream and threw him a bunch of money, which I don't care about. But what I'm being told is that you kept talking about me in a negative way. You kept linking negative videos about me, like detractor videos. So, of course, my detractors made a fucking field day out of this. Now, I'm sitting here trying to maintain my streams. Just do my normal shit. And I don't really give a shit about any of it. But I got to put up with 1 million people coming into my chat, derailing my content for a whole day. Like last night was unbearable. I'm trying to play the Marvel collection. I'm kicking ass. I'm literally spanking people up, down, left, and right. Grandmaster ranking. Oh, do you hear what Iron Chef Sakai is doing right now? He's over in the chat, and he's doing this, and he's doing that. All right? So it's this simple. There's something that I've learned.
Boy, did it backfire. And you notice how he took zero responsibility for it. He's already kind of blaming Iron Chef for going over there and saying things. Look what I have to put up with. Look what I've had to deal with. He only thinks about himself. And why do you think people are doing this, Phil? You're sending them to a kick streamer who has no idea who you are. Obviously, detractors are going to go to these places and link videos of you, right? So obviously this wasn't a well thought out plan on Phil's part. When you have so much negative content about you on the internet, and when I say that, I mean content that you've put out that people have clipped that's negative. Yeah, people are going to go and show them these clips of you being an asshole to people. And you're upset that people are, like Iron Chef are going in there and riding this wave, this DSP hate train wave that's going on. Because let's be real, when you go into somebody's stream who has no idea who DSP is, what are you going to show him? Obviously, you're going to show the wild clips of him. You're going to show, you know, the semi-viral moments that he's had. Obviously not his proudest moments, but like, what does Phil really expect? They're going to go in and be like, oh yeah, my favorite gamer, DSP Gaming. He's so good at games. He was 3rd place or whatever Street Fighter champion back in 2006, whatever year. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever it was. Does he expect people are going to go over there and say these things about him? No, he's created such a negative persona for himself on the internet that people are flooding this poor girl with all these things. And then you got people like Duty Streams going over there, shoveling more shit on the fire, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of people in her chat trying to get her attention with these clips of Phil.
Okay, in the last couple of years, okay? And here's what I've learned. My actions, okay, don't just affect me. My actions affect everyone around me because I'm a public figure on the internet. Okay? So I know that if I decide to talk about a certain topic, or I decide to play a certain game, or I decide to criticize something, or I decide to have an interview, or to appear in a piece of content, no matter what it is, DSP has an influence on things all over the internet. Despite the fact that I don't want to, and I don't understand it, I really don't get it, okay? But I just do, right?
He's got a negative influence on things in the internet. Let's be clear here. It's negative influences. And correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment. If you disagree with what I just said and you think DSP has had a lot of positive influences on the internet, feel free to debunk me.
Like, no matter what I do, it seems like everyone's talking about it, and everyone follows me around, and everyone stalks every little thing that I do, right? I mean, just a couple of days ago.
Okay, he's been using this word as well. I hate when he goes through these phases where he constantly uses the same word to describe everything. People aren't stalking you, Phil. Like you've already said, you're a public figure. So they're gonna go and do research, and they're gonna find things about you because you're a public figure at this point. You've put yourself on the internet. So how is that stalking? Stalking is like somebody showing up to your house unwanted, or like constantly texting your cell phone when you've already told them to stop. You know, like that's stalking. I don't know what he thinks people going on the internet and finding information about him and digging up things about him that he's done and put out on the internet is stalking. Just want to like clear that up.
I had a capture card malfunction. Okay. It screen grabbed my Discord, which auto boots when I boot my gaming PC. And let me tell you, since that happened,
Capture card malfunction? Yeah, okay, Phil.
I've now disabled Discord from auto booting on my gaming PC, so that won't happen again.
He can't even take responsibility for screwing up the OBS window and pulling up his Discord because he probably had window capture or something, and it reverted to Discord because that was the only, like, who knows what actually happened? He can't even be like, yeah, I accidentally showed this. It's like, oh yeah, because my equipment had a malfunction. Dude can't take responsibility for anything. It's pathetic.
All right. But literally all it did was show people on my contacts list. That was it. That's all it was. It was no conversations. It was no information. It was just, here's people on Phil's contacts list. People talk, oh my God, did you see he's got this person on his contacts list? Do you think that this is going to happen? What the fuck is wrong with people, right? And the thing is, I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to.
Well, you're the one that put it out there, dude. Like, of course you're going to have to deal with the repercussions of your actions. It's not a malfunction. It was your action. You probably fat thumbed something and accidentally showed the screen. How is he going on this rant blaming other people for things that he's doing?
It's an inevitability now that no matter what I say and do, no matter what happens, I'm stalked and people microanalyze every piece of information possible.
Correct.
All right.
Because they've had to, due to your past actions, Philip. People have had to deep dive and actually find out what is true and what is not for things that you've done. And yeah, you could call those people crazy, but it's people that really just want to find the truth of your actions, right? Like these people just want to find out, did Phil actually do this? Did Phil actually do that? I mean, for a guy with such a robust and meaningful history on the internet of things that he's done, you know, I'm not surprised there are people out there trying to fact check you. People fact check everything a politician says. So why would they not fact check Darkside Phil?
Now, let's be very honest here. Okay? Let's be very honest. Continuing on with that, people who are going to come on my streams and be regulars, meaning you're someone who's in the chat all the time and people recognize your name, people who come and support in big ways, right? You're dropping member bombs, you're dropping sub bombs, you're tipping, you're super chatting, which I appreciate and very much allows me to do what I love for a living and keep doing it. So thank you for that. But you have to understand that now you are going to become the subject of focus, the subject of analyzation, the subject of ridicule, and the subject of stalking. Simply because these people are all over my ass. If you become a part of that in a big way, they're going to be on your ass. All right.
Why do you think that is, Phil? I'm really curious. I wish you would go into more detail here. Why do you think they'd be on your ass because you're a fan of Phil? Why, Phil? Is it because you possibly lie about everything? Why?
And this is just something that I think needs to be discussed at this point. Is it right? No, it's not. I completely disagree with it.
It's public information. It's not like anyone's stalking your fans, where they live, what they're doing. They're finding out information that they have public on their profiles. It's not hard to tie 2 and 2 together. This dude is just tapped.
I don't think that just because someone comes on my stream and is nice to me, that they should then be micro-analyzed and put under the microscope and have every aspect of their life stalked. And you know what I'm saying? I think it's bullshit. But sadly, I don't think the internet is going to change anytime soon. Okay? I don't.
I mean, I think the internet will change when you actually change as a person. I mean, I'm not saying that's ever going to happen. I doubt it will. But if you weren't so focused on monetizing everything that you can and treated people so poorly and made poor decisions and treated your fans and everybody else in your chat like a dollar bill, then things might start going different for you. But you can't even properly reward your chat. I mean, you get these people donating hundreds and hundreds of dollars to you and you're like, let's keep going, guys. The sooner we hit this reward goal, the sooner we can do the Viewer's Choice Marathon, the sooner we can build these Legos. And then you turn around and you monetize the reward. It's not a reward if you're going to monetize the reward to earn more money for something that should be giving back to your community. I mean, just the other night, he's like, well, I don't know how this Lego stream's going to work. You know, it depends how much support we get. And it's like, you're already talking about support for a reward stream. You know how you judge those streams, Phil? Is you make it known that this is a reward stream. We're going to do it this day. And if you get like 100 viewers and you have your reward stream, well, this didn't work. But that's not how he treats things. He treats it all like dollar bills and demands more money for something that's even supposed to give back to people. Even something where Phil is like, I'm going to reward you guys with this. It turns into, well, what about me? What about what I get? It's disgusting behavior, and we're about to see more of it. So
I think that the internet is going to be a situation where people are going to continuously do this and get worse and worse as well. All right, it's just going to get worse over time. You know, people got to understand that if you come and you hang out with me, great. But the moment that you start to put yourself out there, right, people will be following you and looking. I always say you got to be careful about the information that you put out there on the internet. If you're going to be in someone's chat room, you got to make sure that that account that you're using in the chat does not directly link to real life information. Don't be having it be the same name as your Facebook or your Instagram, and that has information.
Is he like hinting to Iron Chef that like, oh, you really should have went into that other chat with a different name because now people are tying you back to my stream? I mean, it's like he's using that, but trying to make the example more of a general statement about internet safety, you know?
You and your geolocation and all of your friends and family. So many people over the years just didn't realize that that information could be used and mobilized to hurt. And then later on, they get stalked or attacked, and they're like, what's going on? I can't even believe that this is happening to me. Well, yeah, these people are no-life losers. They have nothing to do but harass people online to try to get attention. A lot of times, the reason they do it is not because of any end game. Like, for example, they've stalked people in my community. Here's the deal. Iron Chef Sakai, big supporter of mine, right? Wants to become a moderator. I make him a moderator on Kick. He's a moderator on Kick for like a month. All of a sudden, he starts being really pissy toward me and doing a lot of negative, toxic stuff towards me.
Not once did Phil ever ask him why he's being like this. He never hashed it out. Phil doesn't care why. Phil doesn't care about his own actions, how it makes other people feel. He's just mad that this guy went out there and was upset at him. And when this guy came back to apologize, Phil just easily accepted that it was all this guy's fault. This guy was just the crazy maniac who went on a stream and said all this negative stuff about him for no reason.
So I told him, I don't know what gives. Like, what's your problem? He freaks out. He starts saying all this negative stuff.
He freaks out about what? What's this negative stuff? What did you do, Phil?
So I remove him as a moderator. Then he went on his channel and he had a whole negative stream about me, right? This is months ago. So after that, I'm like, well, forget it. You know, he can't
I have that stream on my channel. Just search Iron Chef Sakai if you want to go back and watch it.
come back with this guy's being a jerk or whatever. Well, he comes back, he apologizes, right? He says, I'm sorry, I was having a really bad time. I'd like to come back, be a part of the community again. Fine. All right. He apologized or whatever. He's coming back. So he comes back and now
And you notice how the way Iron Chef Sakai came back is he donated a bunch of money on YouTube and was like, bring me back, King.
a couple of months since then. And he's been a huge supporter of the streams, and everyone knows this. It's popping up on the screen constantly. He's dropping subs, he's tipping, he's doing super chats, right? Great. But you got to understand that the moment that you leave and you go somewhere else and you start acting in any way, people look and see it, and they're going to be talking about it constantly, and it's going to rub off on everyone, not just you. It's going to rub off.
I mean, I don't think Iron Chef Sakai cared. He was simping for a girl, and you're upset because word got back to you that he was saying shit about you and sending videos to her about you because he ruined your streams while you were trying to play video games and people kept bringing it up in your chat. This is literally all about Phil. It's just like the narcissism is too real.
Everyone around you.